people, 'tis me, truth be told, yet again. I know it's old news about Barnes and Noble. I couldn't think of the name then. I've heard it enough. I should know what it's bloody called. But I always say I'm a little bit late to the party. Don't we know this? So, do you like my thumbnail, by the way? Yeah? Yeah. See, I just think that if Alan sees that, it might make him realise that one day he will be holding that board with a number on it. Fingers crossed. Soon. TikTok. Pimp and dribbles. TikTok. So anyway, yeah, and I know it's clickbait. I know Alan's not been arrested. We know this, but you know, if clickbait is good enough for Alan Vinnicome, Armchair detective, clickbait is good enough for me. So I know I'm a little bit late to the party, and I know we all know about Barnes and Nobles, but there's a few things that I want to go over. There's a few things that I heard in Bam Bam's live that I want to cover. Again, thank you to all the Truth Channel supporters and everybody supporting us actually. But if you do get sick of seeing the same video over and over again, just remember that a lot of channels have different subscribers. A lot of channels are seen by some and not by others. So don't think that we all jump on the bandwagon and we're all just repeating the same mush over and over again. It needs to go out on lots of different channels. So just to let you know, if you see the same kind of content going throughout the Truth channels, because we all can connect to different people. So I just want to get that out there. So the narrative has changed yet again. We all know that the first thing he said was Barnes and Noble. Now there's a rumour going around that some kind of, let's say, troublemakers start, and it's about that Alan has said himself that it was a ploy to just trip us up and to get us to run around trying to find all the information about Barnes and Nobles and stuff. Now, whatever each individual believes, whatever their opinion, the only person that knows the truth is Alan Vinnicome himself. And he hasn't got a big past of being trustworthy, has he? So when he says things, oh, it's all a joke. I didn't mean it. I just wanted to wind up the Truth channels. Oh, I'm not going with Barnes and Nobles as if. He said that before. Remember the time he said that he was an MFI and worked for the MI5, but then all of a sudden, it's a furniture company. I wasn't doing it. I was telling a joke. God, you people. Remember the time Tammy came in alive? Hi, Tammy. Welcome to the channel, Tammy. Thank you, Tammy. Yeah? No, that was a joke. Oh, honestly, you guys. As if Tammy's going to come in. Of course, it was a joke. So see how past behaviour denotes future behaviour? So whatever Alan believes, don't believe him. He knows the truth. And as far as I'm concerned, he didn't say he was with Barnes and Noble. Hey, Pimp and Dribbles, you lied. Because you were going to lie about that, weren't you, Pimp and Dribbles? That's my new name for you. By the way, just thought I'd let you know. Let's hope it catches on, because I think it's quite funny. So you did lie about Barnes and Noble, but obviously we are one step ahead of you because we're just stupid womans, aren't we? We're just stupid womans, of course. So, can't even say the word womans, can't even say the word manger. Can I just say something, Alan? I know you watch this channel and I know you watch this video because you did mention something about watching a woman's video who has about 500 subscribers who talks to me personally. She talks to me. Yeah, I do talk to you. I forgot what I was saying now. I remembered what I was saying. Manger! Manger Tom. What a manger disappointment you are to us. Now, the word manger, I know we shouldn't pick on people who have got speech impediments. We know about speech impediments. We've got in trouble for speech impediment conversations before, but let's not go too deep into this one. Alan, it's major. Major. Okay, let's just get this out there quickly. You've actually lengthened the word, which you're making it harder. So you're actually adding letters to words that don't need to be there. And I don't know if it's your kind of catchphrase where you're going to think that you're going to get known in the public for just being silly and you say the word manger, but it sounds like you're a knob. Major. Don't lengthen it. If you're going to cut words, you cut them shorter. You don't make them longer. Manger Tom, you know, ground control to me. Major Tom, repeat. Major Tom. Okay, we got it. Please don't let me hear you saying it again because I was just about to say we know you're not stupid, but that wasn't No, we'll change that one. So anyway, I'm going to play some of Bam Bam's videos, clips, whatever, and I'm going to just sort of join in occasionally with what she says. Bam Bam has made a few good points, and I'm also going to link Bam Bam's 2 lives, or 2 or 3 lives that she did underneath, because if you want to watch the full episode you can. But sometimes the reason why I do shorten lives down as well, because there's some really, really good information in them, but because they're quite long, a lot of people don't sit and watch the whole thing, and if they do, they skip, and they might miss some really good information. So I'm just going to put up the really good information that Bam Bam talked about, and I'm going to narrow it down. I'm actually going to talk about it myself. So let's begin. First, I'm going to play clips of Alan raving about being taken on by Barnes and Nobles. Now, can I just apologise to Bam, because I have speeded your voice up. I'm not trying to make you sound like an idiot, but I just always speed long conversations up because it just makes the videos a bit shorter, easier to upload, easier to watch.
So, yeah, Barnes and Noble. Let me show you guys. You people in England won't understand this. Well, not that you don't understand things, but you've probably never heard of Barnes and Noble, right? Da-da-da-da. This is Barnes and Noble. They are big. If you're in America, you'll be able to go into one of 48 stores in New York and buy my book. It'll be on the shelves. Barnes and Noble were backing us. My book's going to over 100 newspapers and TV shows in America. Everybody wants to get the Armchair Detective book, Shadow Man, and I don't blame you. The first few copies will be autographed by me and sent out by us to you.
So Bam Bam actually contacted James Daunt, who is the CEO of Barnes and Noble, and I've got the print of the letter here to say that he has nothing to do with Alan Vinnicome. He's never heard of him. So at this point, if Alan didn't see this, Alan did know that we were researching. I think Alan got the tip off that we were basically looking into this, and that's when he panicked and decided to change the narrative. Alan, you've got to learn a lesson. We aren't stupid womans.
Barnes and Noble do not know anything about the Shadow Man, Wisconsin Whispers. They don't know anything about it. They have denied all knowledge. They're starting to get quite angry now because of the accusations that are being made against the company for assisting a plagiarised book.
I want to just quickly add something in between. If Alan's saying that it was a joke and it was just to wind us up, his name, well, Alan, not Pimp and Dribble, your name of Alan Vinnicome is getting out there. So Barnes and Nobles have heard about you. They're a big company. I think if it was a joke, it's backfired on your arse. Because what you've done is you've peed us off to the point where now Bam has actually contacted as many publishers as she can find to warn them. So if it was a joke to wind us up, it's bitten your own backside, basically. Which I still don't think it was. I just think that you decided to change the narrative because you'd been caught. You have wound Barnes and Noble up. The biggest company that if you wanted backing from others, Barnes and Nobles could have been a person that you could have gone to. What have you done? Your name has gone to Barnes and Noble now in a very negative light. So Barnes and Noble will probably never take you on. And Barnes and Nobles know lots of other publishing companies. So your joke, if that's what it is, has backfired.
Now, I don't care what excuses that Mr. Alan Vinnicome gives out there, what Bubble says, what Chicken Legs or whatever the hell she calls herself says. There's no book. And you guys need to wake up and smell the coffee. There's no book. Barnes and Noble know nothing about this. This is not going to be for sale in Australia, in Europe, in Denmark, anywhere. There is no book. And now, after what's happened today with the correspondence with the FBI and the CBI and all the people that have contacted Barnes and Noble, there's no way Barnes and Noble's going to touch him with a barge pole. All of these lies that he's telling and the fact that he's had nearly $4,000 this past week asking people for donations to help him for his book, it's a lie. All of it is a lie.
Okay, and also I'd like to add something to this bit. Okay, let's play devil's advocate here. Let's just say that we believed what Alan said for the first time ever in our lives, something that's never happened and never probably will happen again. And he did it for a joke. Why at the expense of your subscribers who have invested in you, invested in everything that you've done, and invested in the book with sponsors, donations, they've given you information, do you think that they enjoy you spending a whole video basically just winding up the trolls at their expense? They've given you money. They want this book to succeed, or they think this book's going to succeed, and you are spending time making jokes, telling them that they're getting a book from Barnes & Nobles. You're telling them that their $100, $50, $4.99, whatever it is they've spent on you, is going to be in Barnes & Nobles, and they feel proud that they've helped their messiah, I can't think of the right word then, to build up his profession to where he wants to be in his career. And then you make a big, huge joke at the expense of them. So it wouldn't surprise me if you probably lost a few more subscribers with that joke. I wouldn't like having invested in you and then all you're doing is making a joke. You're lying to them about where their money's going. Bad mistake. Get some brains, Alan. You're meant to be an investigator. You're meant to be a detective. You're meant to be, like, clever. That word tickled me. Clever. Alan and clever. No, it doesn't go in the same sentence. If you were clever, you'd realise you fucked yourself in the arse.
So here's what you should do, Mr. Armchair Detective. You should refund all those people the money for your book because you've actually committed fraud in the eyes of the law. When you accept money for a specific reason and you don't have the goods, then that is fraud. And I'm serious, Alan. I'm not fucking around. I'll put a complaint in against you on Monday. I will file a fraudulent complaint against you on Monday. If I've got to go to the police station and stand there and do it myself, I'll do it because you've committed fraud. You have taken money from people with absolutely no intentions of providing the service that you tried to sell to them. You were the one that started an escort agency called Sauce, where you offered boys and girls for your pleasure. You're the one that got caught looking for mother and daughter porn activity while you'd sat for nearly 3 years talking about mother and daughter murder. So that's why people make those connections, Alan. Now, as for your bar Vinnies that your son has given up, and I think that there's, about 50 grand owing, but it's dissolved now so that he won't have to pay anybody. While you guys had that pub in your name, that pub was raided and they found drugs growing in the basement. Now, I'm going to predict the future. Here it is. Get ready, guys. AD is going to throw the blame at someone else. He'll probably try and throw Bubbles under the bus, or chicken shit, or someone else. But let me tell you something. You see, you guys that have donated money to him, and you're just listening now, and you're just going, well, I really, really like AD. He doesn't like you, okay? You're just fucking nuisances to him. You're just a joke to him. You're just people that he can get money out of, okay? That's the truth. Then why don't you contact the authorities in Western-super-Mare? See what people actually do have to say about him. I'm trying to tell you the truth. I'm trying to make you guys understand that you are being shafted. You guys think that you're just going to get a book. There's no book. They are lying to you. Because you see, publishers, they give you a 3-book deal. They don't give you a 7-book deal. They give you a 3-book deal. And they'll give you an advancement on book number 1. When book number 1 is finished and goes into print and it hits the shelves, then depending on what sales that you do, you'll get the rest of your payment. That's how publishing houses work. And bring you over to America to go on a book signing tour. Because do you know what? J.K. Rowling doesn't even get that. Stephen King doesn't get that. James Herbert didn't get that. Are you starting to see a pattern here? Because guess what the pattern says whenever it's all knitted up? You have been fucking shafted. That's what the pattern says. And you know what they've said? They're going to get their legal representatives to deal with this. That's what Barnes & Noble has said, because you are defrauding Barnes & Noble at the minute. You know, I'm just the mouthpiece, basically. He won't be on Amazon either. That's right. He does not have the ability to sell his book on Amazon because he's banned from Amazon. This is lies. You people that are listening and he's sitting there telling you lies. The Fraud Prevention Department. That's it. Fraud Prevention. Any of you want to do this yourselves? Fraud Prevention UK. Send that information to them. Type them out a little email. And if he does have a contract with Barnes & Noble, why has he been asking his subscribers to give him money? Because Barnes & Noble, they will give you a payment to begin with. They'll give you a quarter or half of the agreement. And then they'll take the rest when they'll take that back whenever the book hits the shelves. So can we see some proof of his contract, please?
Yeah. I don't know if this is just something that those two morons have collaborated and think they can actually pull off, or is this a scenario of he knows he's almost fucking done and he's just going to go for broke and try and get every fucking thing he can? I was just like, in terms of a documentary, he would have to pay to use any of that footage. It's not
$3,000.
Exactly, like Netflix had to pay out the arse.
So if you've got a publishing deal with a publishing house, you do not need to be receiving any sums from anybody as an assistant to write your book, because the publishing house will see to all of that.
Giving every benefit of the doubt. Let's say this thing happens and it gets published. So who's going to freaking pay? Will that be another securing of donations to pay for all of those books to be sent over to the UK where he can sign them, and then to pay to send them back to his
Exactly. And then you've got
all for August 12th, right? All for August 12th this is going to happen.
Please, I just want to say one thing. He's promised you hardbacks. He's promised you to have them signed. He's promised to have your name put in the back of them. But when is he going to stop getting when is he going to stop getting sponsors off you? Because if he keeps on getting money from you and then you give them your name, but the book's already gone into publishing, how is he going to get your name into the book if he keeps the sponsor going after? Has he actually, this is why it's so confusing, has he actually published the book now, which he keeps saying he has? Then he says he hasn't published the book. There's too many red flags here, guys. Listen to what I'm saying. But then you're wanting your name put in the book. But if he's had it published already, how is your name going in if you pay now? So if you pay him after the book's gone into publication, you can't have your name. If he's going to sign it for you, how is he going to get it sent from America if he gets it published in America, as in Noble and Barnes, or Barnes and Nobles, or whatever the hell it is called? Oh, this is hurting my neck. Stress trying to work this out. It's very difficult. Being an investigator, detective. I'm more detective than he ever has been. So if you look at it realistically, how is he going to get the books back and forwards without paying money to get them weighed in the post office and pay for the weight, send them all back to you? Think about the reality of it, guys. Wake up.
You've got to pay tax on those as well, though,
well,
and that goes on weight.
Do that. He doesn't pay tax. No, he gets away with that.
But if he wants those books delivered to his home, they won't deliver them unless he pays tax on them. So it's usually about, it starts at 160 and then it goes up. So he could end up having to pay £1,000 to have those books delivered to his home. That exactly. He's getting several $1,000s per month. And he's basically pissing in the face of everybody that sat and worked hard, not for money, just for decency. How come he's not looked into Jean-Benet Ramsey? How come he's not done that if he's such a crime?
I haven't seen that. Any other cases he's potentially looked at for a day or so. Why do they all have to generate around babies and children? He's got an extremely unhealthy, sick and twisted obsession.
Oh, yes, he does.
You know,
yes, Gina,
when he's pulling up his Google friggin' incest porn search, he's talking about these poor souls.
Well, I don't know whether you were on or not. We said there was something very sinister about his interest in dead children. Why is he sitting talking about dead children's vaginas? Vaginals, as he calls them. Why would
fucking smirk on his fucking face? That's all.
I'm not aware of that.
Oh, he already almost was a published author. So he collaborated with an author. She is actually a real author. Her name is Netta Newbound, and they made some sort of a contract. And they were going to release a book together. On June 6th, he made a big ordeal and spectacle of how he was now an author and he was releasing a book. It was I believe it was through Amazon. Anyways, on June 25th, he made mainstream media when he was banned from. That was the date that it came out. In the paper about his shady business dealings, and he's been banned from being a company director, directly or indirectly, for 6 years.
Yeah.
That same day, and a whole shitload of us tried to warn Netta, stay away from him, stay away from him. June 25th, so 9 days later, after he announced this wonderful partnership with Netta Newbound, she posted a public statement that as of that moment, they had severed ties with him because of this release of his shady business dealings.
As far as I know, he didn't refund anyone. So he should still have that money sitting in what? This is a business account, isn't it? This is his work. So he should actually have a work account. So he should already have that money that he received for the first book that he was going to write. So why is he not using that? Why is he asking his subscribers to give him money when he claims that he's got a publishing deal, which they will pay you an advance amount of money to begin with? All of this can be backed up. He actually set a pedophile on me to try and get me, to frighten me. Or, to back me off. I'll die in my sleep if I'm lying to you. Well, I'm keeping an eye on him anyway, right? Now, you guys, you need to believe me what I'm telling you. He showed his screen. He turned his screen round. and I seen the Tor network running on the top of his screen, the Tor search bar.
Yep, I know that.
I nearly shit myself.
What else would you have that for?
Exactly. It's not torrents, it's Tor. And it's illegal here. It's illegal in Europe. Because every single ring that has been broken have all been operating through the Tor network. Now, I seen it there.
It's the black market internet, basically.
Well, what happened was I went live. I squeezed it all over the place. The next thing was he's telling the subscribers that he needs a new computer. He needs a new laptop. Because his other one's broken or blah, 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 or something like that. What I think...
evidence much?
Yeah, I think he was getting rid of it. I think he was getting rid of it because he knew he was caught. Yeah, for any of you that don't know, it's basically a gateway to the dark web. Yep. The dark web is where you can sell even the most horrendous things. No way, you are not going to have Tor installed on your computer if you're like green. You know you can sell live rapes on it as well. And if they have a live feed to the actual event, people can pay for things to be done to the victim, if you understand what I'm saying. He's turned those kids into data points. Those kids are no longer victims anymore. They're data points. You know, he's built his whole being on YouTube exploiting that case and plagiarizing everybody else's work and ideas.
And putting a woman at risk that she had to go and change her entire name.
The tax authorities do know all about this. I promise you that. Promise. You know, seriously, if you guys have really got anything in your heart and soul towards those two little girls that were murdered, do it for them. Because do you really think those kids would approve of this? Do you really think that their mother would approve of this? Because at the end of the day, that's the people that you guys are exploiting for this. You know deep down none of this shit that he's telling you is true.
So obviously from here onwards is when he made another video and he changed the narrative and he started saying, ha, I was joking. I was joking. No, see, life with a narcissist is full of jokes. That's what they do. They've lied and got caught, it's a joke. If they've been caught out with something, it's a joke. If they never say, I'm sorry, I admitted it, I lied. They're never going to say that. Never going to say that. They're pimping dribbles. So, don't believe a word he says. And now he's starting to change the narrative again. He got caught out. But now he's lying again and he's saying that he's got a publisher. It's not Barnes & Noble. And he's just messing with you people. Those of you who have actually given him money, he's messing you around. So again, that video was the previous one when Bam made it before he decided to change the narrative. And from onwards now, this is when Bam made the second part and said, okay, now he's changed his mind. So enjoy.
Quick message on the book, but it's going well. But I've got a message for the trolls, right? We told them we're going to be having the book in Barnes & Noble one day. So you know what they're going to do? They're going to write to Barnes & Noble. Do not have that man in your bookshop. You can imagine, can't you? Barnes & Noble, head office, Barnes & Noble, Barnes & Noble, Barnes & Noble. The book's not even written yet. How would Barnes & Noble know about the book? It's not even written yet.
This is exhausting. As Bam mentions in the next part, he keeps saying he's published it, then he hasn't published it. He changes his mind like he changes his knickers. I don't know. Don't really, please stop doing that. I get visions. I can dry heave. He just keeps on changing the rules. See, what happens with narcissists is they don't live for yesterday, they live for today. So they will change the rules. They will say whatever suits them in that moment, because they don't see what they've said in the past as relevant to them. They don't actually invest in anything they say, so they can change the rules because that's what they believe in. They just believe that we are like them and we'll just understand. And oh yeah, oh see, now it's... They don't realise that we think the way we do because he's not like us. So we want proof. We can look back. We have memories, and he forgets that too. You can't say 1 minute you've published it and it's going to be published on the 13th and then it's not going to be published and it has been published and it hasn't been published. You know, has it been published or hasn't it? Which lie? Pick a lie. Pick a lie, Alan. Pick a lie. Pick a lie. Pick a lie. See what's happening? See what it does to us trolls. If I was a troll, I would sit behind the screen and not put my face on. If I was a troll, I wouldn't put my name on. I wouldn't, you know, if I was a troll, trolls don't do this, by the way, Alan. Don't show their face and tell the truth. And trolls, you're mixing up trolls with real people, with the truth. The trolls sit behind in the dark in the basement of their family's house. Who did that? Did somebody else do that? Hang on. No, I can't remember. And they type and they kind of keep their face and their name away because they're scaredy cats. No, I'm here. I'm here. Going slightly crazy, but I'm here.
I'm not going to tell you what organisation I'm in my book with, what my contract's with. If I tell you the name of my organisation, you will write to them. He's a monster. Barnes and Noble are a shop. Listen, I haven't got a contract with Barnes and Noble. They fell for that one, didn't they? It's a scam. His books aren't in Barnes and Noble. Of course they're not. They're not. The book's not finished. It's not even written.
8 hours later.
AD's clapback is now a whole load of backpedaling. So today the story is, apparently now it's not Barnes and Noble. No, it's not them at all. It's independent. You also contradicted yourself twice. You said about the Ned and Newman, this is the first time that you've written a book, but you'd already written a book about the Madeline McCann stuff that you plagiarised from the Madeline McCann groups that you were thrown out of on Facebook, and you weren't allowed to publish as an author because it was all plagiarised content. So what is it? Either you've tried to write a book or not. Now you've dropped Barnes and Noble straight in it, started a whole pile of shit for these people, where they've been inundated all weekend with queries and questions from all of us online that want to know what the hell's going on. You know, so now the story's changed. Story's now changed to there's a third party involved that work for these independent publishing agencies. And what they'll do is they'll sell you a package. They'll say, you can write a book. And as the package, as you buy into the package, what you owe to them becomes more. They then say that they're going to tout it around 1,000 different publishers and different bookstores. That doesn't mean to say that you've got a publishing deal. What that means to say is you have involved a salesperson to represent you if you do go ahead and try and write a book. So the more that they sell you in the package, the more commission they earn. Once they've earned their commission, they don't need to honour that package. All they need to do is offer it to certain publishing houses, and the publishing houses are going to say no. The reason that they're going to say no is, and this is not meant to be offensive to anyone, this is it. There's no publishing houses that are going to be interested in a solved and closed case from 2018. Once we get over August, we're going to be looking at the 4-year mark. As soon as the year turns, it doesn't matter what time of the year. It's the date. So as soon as we go into 2022, they're going to say, oh, it was nearly 4 years ago. They're not going to be interested in that, all right? It's been done to death. If you are such the investigative genius that you claim to be, why was this not published at the beginning? Why is the FBI and the CBI and the Colorado authorities remaining tight-lipped on this? Because if he had made any discoveries, all right, and I've been doing a little bit of investigating myself today, if he had made any discoveries, then he would have been recognised for them, all right? But because he's such a grotesque character and he has such a bad history, nobody wants to deal with him. You as the creator and you as the big mouth, you're the one that is responsible for maintaining the truth and putting out the truth to your channel and to your subscribers. So whether you pick this up wrong or not, that's entirely up to you. Which brings me to my second thing to say. If you did pick this up wrong, again, it shows you that you lack intelligence. Because anybody else would have tweaked on that really, really fast. And instead of coming online saying, oh, I'm going to be in Barnes and Noble, I'm being taken on a book tour, and I'm going to be on TV and blah, 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 they would be keeping their mouths shut until the book was actually in print. If you're going to use any plagiarised content, then I'm going to make sure that the authorities are crawling all over you. You requested that your subscribers give you money to publish a book that you claimed that you had a publishing deal for. That's fraud. Publishing deals come with an advance payment. 3 payments. After that, then you get royalties. And if you're lucky and your book's a bestseller, yeah, you can make a bit of money. If not, you've already had your advance payment. You've been lying deliberately from the beginning. You accepted sums of money from members of the public for something that you said you were going to provide to them and you didn't. That's fraud. And you're doing exactly the same thing again. Now, all of you people that are watching and not joining in, any of you that support AD, I'm going to tell you exactly what he's going to do now. He's going to do 2 things. He's either going to blame it on all of us. He's going to say, oh, I couldn't do it because of the trolls. You call me a troll and you're going to end up in fucking court. Do you understand something, Alan? Because I'm not going to let a man who sets a pedophile and a registered sex offender against a woman, I'm not going to let you call me names, or I'm going to start calling you fucking names, and you're not going to like the names that I've got for you. Do you watch your mouth, mister? Because I'm watching it now. He'll play on your sympathy, hoping that everybody will say, oh, well, you can keep the money. Or he'll throw bubbles under the bus. He'll say it was her. Or it was somebody else that came at them with this idea, and it's nothing to do with him, and he's got the book written. So, again, I'm going to bring him back on something that he said as you know, a clap back at us. Stupid are the women that give you money. Stupid are the women that sit there letting you slide into their DMs thinking that you're going to be their boyfriend. You know? But you said, the book's not even done yet. The book's not even printed yet. Yeah, but you were the one that was saying that it was, because you gave a release date for the 12th of August. Do you think that you hand something into the publishers and they publish it and print it overnight? Actually, with a publishing deal, you hand your work in 2 years beforehand. That's usually how it works. Didn't he say 12th of August? He did say that, didn't he? 12th of August, it was going to be published and on the shelves. The other thing that I want to ask is how you were going to be signing these books. Because according to you, a signed hardback was going to be the greatest thing. It also was the 12th of August, wasn't it? Because the 13th of August is the day that it happened. So it was going to be the 13th either here or the USA on that release date. You know how one of us hit midnight before the other? So he was going to release that book on the anniversary of the Watts family crimes. So you were...
Okay. The fact that you, Alan, were going to release your book in your fantasist head on the 13th of August is pretty sick. You see, you're such a sensationalistic kind of person. You've got to sensationalise everything, you know. And the fact that, you know, you thought, oh, it'd be a really good idea if I actually, you know, released my shit conspiracy book with full of lies and plagiarism. The book that's, you know, I can't. I'm speechless. You know, you've tortured the family for 3 years, and then you go and you write a book about lies, and then you're going to actually publish it on the day that Shanann and the kids got murdered. Yeah, real good, real fucking good, real empathic, Alan. Are you fucking nuts in your head? Have you got any empathy, any morals? Are you stupid? Do you know? I mean, I might joke around a lot, but really, you are the sewage of the earth. There's no way you would have got the book out on that date anyway, but no, you just thought it would sound good, didn't you? You just thought, oh, I'll say that date because that's the date they got murdered. You sick fuck. Excuse my language. I'm speechless.
Because if you think I'm bluffing, think again. I am going to make sure that the Fraud Prevention Society get on to you this week, because what you've done is defrauded the public. That's what you've done. Because I'm telling you, we are going to be breathing down your neck. You need to understand that, Alan. I've had it with you. You make me sick as a human being. You disgust me. I don't want to have to deal with you. But if you think that you're going to make any more money out of our hard work, you think again, sunshine, because he's trying to cover his arse now. He's changing his story. I mean, was the book ever written? Was the book sent off with this third-party salesman? Or were you just lying about that? And then you were going to tell your subscribers all sorts of dumb lies? And you put a registered pedophile on me. And I'm not too impressed with that. I'm not too impressed with you. Why did you go ahead with this charade? Why did you accept such a large monetary donation from your subscribers when you had absolutely no way of providing them with what you claimed you were going to give them to? That is 100% fraud. I think what the pair of you has done, you have come up with this plan yourselves to get a shit ton of money off your subscribers. You've said that you're going to write a book. You can't write. You couldn't write a shopping list, let alone a book about a forensic investigation. I was going to use all sorts of excuses as to why the book weren't going into print and to why you weren't given what you said you were going to do. You were going to come up with all sorts of stories. This is the first story that you can grab onto today. But you gave us a date of publication. You said that this book was going to be on the shelves on the 12th of August in all 48 stores of Barnes & Noble in the USA. You said that. So, to have that kind of date and to have that kind of information, then you were basically misleading your audience into believing that you had already written the book and it was printed and it was just waiting to go on the shelves. Any of you guys that is listening that are subs of his, please ask him. Ask him for proof. Ask him for proof of this deal that he's got. Ask him to supply some facts. And the fact that he said, oh, he's not going to tell anyone because everybody will contact them. Well, I've contacted every publisher, publishing house and agent that I can find today in the UK, and I'll be doing a lot more tomorrow, and I'll be doing it on Monday, and I'll be contacting them in America as well, and I'll be letting everybody know exactly what this guy's doing and saying, see if you can sell your book now. He's not allowed to be part of a company, either head or involved with running it. If Bubbles deactivates her YouTube and her Gmail account, there's no way of contacting her if she doesn't run her. There is this place in America called the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and that's what they specialise in, investigating people. So they'll still be able to catch you. You know, you leave a digital footprint. Even if you're operating from one throwaway email, you can still be traced to your regular emails and through your banking if you've given donations or received donations online. The fact that there's all these other dodgy PayPal accounts that JC was talking about last night, and she'll be able to be traced. People like that always leave a trace.
So on ending this, thank you to Bam Bam for letting me use her footage. There were some interesting things in there, especially the tour website that apparently he's using. Alan, Bubbles, Pimp and Dribbles, whatever you want to be called. I mean, we take the piss out of you, but you are sick. You are sick. You are screwing people over. You have tortured the Rzuceks for the last 3 years. You have done so many lies, so many conspiracies. This must be one of your worst. I do actually think that you're both going to do a runner and you're going to get as much money as you possibly can. See, the thing is with people like you, I'm not saying you're psychopaths, but if you're on the psychopathic spectrum, you don't have any regards or respect for the law. You think you're higher than the law. You think you're better than the law. So I think a lot of people do things in criminal activities and just don't think that they're going to get caught. They always do, because again, our thinking is different to yours. You've lived your life doing a certain thing and you've got away with it. You know, Alan's 66 years old and he seems to have got away with so much shit because he lies and lies and lies. And the more he's got away with, the more and the bigger and the most grandiose that he keeps getting, because the more you get away with stuff, the bigger you get. But the bigger you are, the harder you fall, Alan. So I do think this is probably going to be your downfall. Now, we are looking into the tax evasion. We're doing a lot of things behind the scene. I have actually emailed Netta Newbound. I know she probably won't reply, but she will be watching out and seeing what you're up to. I have warned her that you're doing the same thing again, you know, with the book publishing. The more people that know about you, the less likely that you're going to get anywhere in this social media or news or celebrity world that you're trying to get into. We will stop you, Alan, and I don't care whether you think we're trolls. I don't give a shit, to be honest. You've just done too much to too many people and now you're doing it to your subscribers, the ones that trust you, the ones that invested, the ones that have faith in you, and the ones that are being scammed, but they don't realise they're being scammed. You don't realise you are being scammed until afterwards, and that is what scammer is. It's you trust somebody and then they screw you over, and then you look back and you think, holy shit, how the hell did I let that happen? You know, that's what a scammer is. And there's going to be a lot of very disappointed people. Now, they might not believe us now, but when you do come down, they will believe us then, and there's going to be a lot of angry people wanting their money back from you, and they will find you. They will find you, and they will kill you. Sorry, maybe not, no. Oops, I better take that out. Edit that. So, I'm going to leave that here, and if I don't normally ask people to subscribe, but if you do want to see more videos on this, if you want to kind of support our channel, and you want to support the truth channels, in my description there's a lot of channels in there, truth channels. They're links that you can go and watch there. I've got playlists in my channel. When you get old, you start losing your speech. I know what Alan feels like, but at least I'm not saying the word manger. I think it's time I went. Guys, thank you so much. Please share this video and subscribe if you want to see more of me. That's the most stupid thing I've ever said. See you later.